Blessings. This is A Course of Love, reading 73. Breathe deeply in, fill yourself with everything, and exhale, release everything, every thought, every feeling, everything out. Enter into your void, breathing in and out, in a void that is only an ocean of love. And we will read the last paragraph of Lesson 72, and then continue to complete this chapter called What You Choose Instead. Those who sit in judgment call upon their power to do what it cannot do. All power comes from love, as does all justice. Any basis other than love for power or for justice makes a mockery of both. Might makes right is a saying that is known to many of you, and even those who know the saying not believe in the tenets it represents. This you will claim you have evidence for. It is all around you. The strong survive and the weak perish. The mighty prevail, and so define what is right for all those over whom they prevail. Those in power are those who make the laws, and those who have no power must obey them. And yet you are as frightened as those who have no power, as those who do. Criminals are feared and shunned, and yet they have no power but that which they make for their own selves. You want power to come only through legitimate channels, and do not want those who have no power to possess it through the same weapons or might that you might claim make those in authority powerful. While you want those you have given power to protect you, you also fear them, and they in turn fear the powerless who might take away their power or rise up against them. What kind of power is it that needs to be constantly defended? What is it about the powerless that frightens you, except that they might not accept their powerless state? And what does this say but what history has shown you? That who is powerful and who is not determined by might or any authority that can be given or taken away. Power is possessed by those who claim it, by those who cry, "I am." For the beginning of power comes from the rejection of powerlessness. The rejection of powerlessness is but a step towards your identity achieved through the awakening of love of self. What misery the world has suffered in the name of judgment, power, and justice. What misery can be avoided by finding the true power inherent in your identity? For you are not powerless. Those of you who think you have traditional means of power on your side turn not to your own power, and then you wonder why those most spiritual, both currently and historically, seem to suffer hardship. Yet it is often only those who suffer hardship who will rise up and claim the power that is their own instead of looking for it elsewhere. Your perception but looks at power backwards and wonders why God has forsaken a people who seem to be so godly. God forsakes no people, but people forsake God when they give away their power and claim not their birthright. Your birthright is simply the right to be who you are, and there is nothing in the world that has the power to take this right from you. The only way you lose it is by giving it away, and this you do. God wants no sacrifice from you, yet when you give away your power, you make of yourself a sacrificial lamb, an offering unto God that God does not want. You look back on stories of sacrifice from the Bible and think what a barbaric time that was, and yet you repeat the same history but in different form. If a talented physician were to give up his power to heal, you would surely call it a waste, and yet you give up your power to be who you are and think it is just the way life is. You give away your power and then bow down to those whom you have given it to, for you are afraid of nothing more than your own power. This fear but stems from what you have used your power for. You know your power created the world of illusion in which you live, and so you think another must be able to do it better. You no longer trust yourself with your own power, and so you have forgotten it and realized not how important it is for it to be reclaimed. As good as you may want to be, you would still go meekly through your life trying to comply with rules of God and man with thought of some greater good in mind. If everyone did what he or she wanted to do, you reason, society would collapse and anarchy would rule. You think you are only fair in deciding that if everyone cannot do what they would want, then you too must abdicate your wishes for the common good. You thus must behave in noble ways that serve no purpose. If you cannot claim at least a small amount of love for your own self, then neither can you claim your power, for they go hand in hand. There is no common good as you perceive of it, and you are not here to assure the continuance of society. The worries that would occupy you can be let go if you but work instead for the return of heaven and the return of your own self. And that concludes Chapter 16, What You Would Choose Instead. And that was reading 73. But now, take a moment and take a deep breath in. And exhale and just release. Release everything you're aware of and unaware of. Release and be void. Take another big breath in, filling up with all the feelings, all the thoughts, everything, all sensations. And now exhale and let go. Release it. Let it wash away. Think of the ocean waves. Inhaling and exhaling, observing your breath like the ocean, and knowing that each wave that presses forth on the shore is just an expression of the ocean of love, and watch it recede into the ocean of love. Each unique expression of love, like a wave of the ocean, is like each of your moments. And each of those moments, each of those waves of expression of the ocean of love is like the innocent babe. The innocent babe that is you. And you may observe these moments in innocence as you are washing onto the shore as an expression of the ocean of love. And you may release any thoughts of separation, any thoughts of specialness, of need to have power, because you are the ocean of love in many waves of momentary expression. As you move around with other waves of momentary expression, of innocent babes, all coming from the same ocean of love. And you may observe the innocent babe of yourself and others as the waves of expression of the ocean of love, of Source. Continue breathing. Continue the awareness of these moments as you do whatever. Awareness of the innocence of being a wave of expression of the ocean of love. Continue through this day with this awareness. And blessings, blessings, blessings.